8 fours and 2 sixes in that first match. The right-hander is in the middle because of this. Shakib feels there's enough batting left where he can be ultra aggressive. Didn't work for the left-hander this time.
शुरू हो गया
Didn't work for the left-hander this time.
He has another. Yeah, you could sense it that he was trying to play a few more shots.
You could sense
From the previous over, reached out to play that pull shot.
previous over.
Right. Here's another opportunity for the youngster. Tawheed Ahmed.
Gives another opportunity for the youngster. Tawheed
And the
Ahmed.
spirit is what Bangladesh looks forward.
And this spirit.
Taken deeper in the future. I mean, these are the future stars. He's already established himself in all formats of the game for Bangladesh. Golden opportunity, great opportunity for someone like Tawheed Ridwan to do the same. Listen, young player. Well, I think what's important for him here is trying to put that 90 to the side.
What's important for him here is to try to put that 90 to the side. Just get in. Just get in a little bit.
Yeah, Walton.
Give himself an opportunity, get that partnership up around.
Time, doesn't he? Because he'll take his own time, but he's an aggressive player, as we've already seen.
I think for Ireland, they'll feel that they need him to show an experience, give his wicket away. Maybe good bit of fielding, a great catch. Just thinking from the Irish perspective here, Bangladesh 8, 9, 10 and 11 don't have the greatest records with the bat. So if they can just nip one or two out here, they'll feel as though they still got something they can chase.
Lovely. That is a lovely touch from Shanto. 4 more.
This really is a good stroke. Just recognizing that Tector's bowled is flatter and faster. And he just dangles the bat there and allows the pace of the ball to do the rest. It's just a glide past backward point.
Deft touch. Really well played. But that boundary just spoils the over, doesn't it? It was a good over up until that when he picked up that boundary. 7 in that over. Bangladesh 189 for 3.
গোলাপি নির্যাস আর ভিটামিন ই সহ নতুন লাক্স দেয় চাঁদের মতো উজ্জ্বল চেহারা। লাক্স
শিরিন বানু মিতুল 1971 সালে পাবনা টেলিফোন এক্সচেঞ্জ দখল করে। এমনই সব ইতিহাসের আলো অনলাইন মুক্তিযুদ্ধ জাদুঘরের মাধ্যমে পৌঁছে যান সবার কাছে। দেশের 1 নম্বর নেটওয়ার্কে গ্রামীণ ফোন।
চঞ্চল ভাই
দেখা যাচ্ছে না বলে নেই নাকি? পানিতে থাকা আয়রন ও সীসা ফোটালেও যায় না, দেখাও যায় না।
Purity Classic দূর করে ভাইরাস, ব্যাকটেরিয়া এবং নতুন যুগের দূষণ।
Here on, in terms of the bowling, you spoke about Hridoy, whether they can pick him up early, or even Shanto for that matter, and get a tune batter in the crease. Have to work really hard. Shanto has been middling it. He's been looking very good. Solid.
Well, I think that's what I would be saying if I was the captain of Ireland. I'd be saying to my players, look, if we can just we can string 1 or 2 dot balls together. These are 2 young batters. Yes, they're full of potential. Yes, they're in form. But maybe if we can string a couple of dots together, we can get a loose stroke out of them and open up an end. Get another new batter in here. Try and get to that tail.
I think the idea is good from the skipper. Balbirnie because that's called a wide, because the mid-off and mid-on are inside the circle, right? So even when Nazmul Shanto is on strike, so that's not bad at all. I think that is aggressive mindset from the skipper himself. And what it says that, okay, fine, you're well set on 73. I know you batted really well, but we still want to see you hit over the top, whether you are willing to take the bait or not. Just maybe. Oh, he's gone. Yep, they knew it, and he didn't wait for the decision. He's walking off.
A strangle down the leg side. He's bowled some lovely deliveries, Hume. He really has bowled some lovely deliveries, and often your best ones don't yield wickets. This is not his best, and Shanto, who's played beautifully, just gets a little glove on it. Just a little glove. Good catch by Lorcan Tucker behind. And Bangladesh have lost Shanto. That is the one they would have wanted, Ireland. He goes for 73, 190 for 4.
টেস্ট অ্যাবজর্পশন আর ওয়েট ক্লক টেকনোলজির সাথে 12 ঘন্টার নন স্টপ প্রোটেকশন নিয়ে এলো জেনারা কনফিডেন্স। 15টি ব্যাট 20 টাকা ছাড়ে এখন মাত্র 130 টাকা। কাছে আসার এই তো সময় কারণে
নতুন ক্লোজ আপ ট্রিপল ফ্রেশ ফর্মুলার সাথে, যা মুখের কোনায় কোনায় পরিষ্কার করে, জীবাণু থেকে সুরক্ষা দেয়, প্রায় সতেজ নিঃশ্বাস 12 ঘন্টা পর্যন্ত।
কাছে এসো, কাছে
ক্লোজ আপ 12 ঘন্টা পর্যন্ত সতেজ নিঃশ্বাস।
নাটা জেলি আর পানীয়র এক অসম কম্বিনেশন, ড্রিঙ্কো চাবান পানীয়।
This is what we were talking about, that we see Mushfiqur Rahim walking in the middle. How can they get new batter in? Now they've picked up Shanto. Mushfiqur Rahim, very good average. Really good numbers. Closing in on 7,000 runs, 43 50s and 800s. Because he's coming at number 6. All of a sudden, with those 2 wickets, 2 quick wickets, Ireland fighting back. Mushfiq on strike. And straight away, he's off the mark. And then a second one taken as well. Very quick. He's here because of this. I initially thought that it was off his pads, or rather the thigh pad.
Just catches the glove, doesn't it? Just the bottom part of the glove. Oh, credit to Shanto. We don't see it often, but he was on his bike, wasn't he? He walked straight off. Didn't wait for the decision.
Yeah, he knew. Well, all of a sudden, they're asking questions here. Ireland.
Hume has certainly been the best Irish seamer. He hits a lovely area. He just tries to hit the seam. That's all he tries to do. He says, I'm going to hit a good length, and if the ball nips in or out, well, that just depends on what the ball feels like doing. This one nips in, and that's doing too much. That's going down the leg side.
And it's a scramble seam, so you're really not sure which way the ball is going to go. As a batter, you want to keep a close eye. Again down the left side. Well, he's certainly waiting. But I reckon this might be sliding down the leg side.
Very experienced umpire, Rod Tucker. This is just nipping down the leg side. It starts to slide here, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, if Ike is getting the ball to come back that sharply, then the idea is to make sure that he bowls it somewhere around the off stump or just outside the off stump. But it has to be a little bit more fuller, because the moment he pitches it fuller, the ball does move. Up to 34, Bangladesh 193 for 4.
নাজিয়ানা আনিকা
ম্যাডাম, সিনেমা হিরোর নামই চলে। আপনি চুলে নজর দেন, গরম আর ঘাম চুলে শাইন না নষ্ট করে ফেলে।
শাইন তো মন খুলেই করব আমিও, আর আমার চুলও। নতুন সানসিল্ক ব্ল্যাক শাইন, এতে আছে আমলা, পার্ল প্রোটিন আর ভিটামিন ই অ্যাক্টিভ মিক্স, যা চুলকে দেয় 24 ঘন্টা পর্যন্ত শাইন। শাইন করব মন খুলে।
এগিয়ে যাবার এই জার্নিতে আপনাদের জন্যই আমাদের সব চেষ্টা। আপনাদের সাথে নিয়ে বাংলা লিগ এখন 4 কোটির পরিবার।
Well, they have to do it all over again. This pair of Tawhid Ridoy and Mushfiqur Rahim, they added 80 in just 40 deliveries. I don't think that they're going to score in that rate, because it is still something for the bowlers. We saw the previous over when Graham Hume picked up the wicket of Nazmul and Shanto. Right. Matthew Humphreys was back in the attack. None for 42 in 5. He's been expensive. But he's coming in at a good time, because there are 2 new batter in the crease and both are right-hander. Starts with a short run.
Yeah, this is these matchups again. As soon as there's 2 right-handers at the wicket, Ireland bring the left-arm spinner on. But the ball's not turning away from any right-handers. The ball's not spinning at all. We haven't seen any spin from off-spinners or left-arm spinners, for that matter, today. Important for these 2 Bangladesh batters, though, is to get a partnership going. If these 2 can take it to over number 40, then look to accelerate again. No need for for too much exuberance here in the next 6 or so overs, because if one of them get out, you've got Yasser in and then the tail, and that will give an opening for Ireland.
I like this field. There's 6 men. 6 fielders inside the circle, 3 on each side, 3 on the off and 3 on the on. So it's important that what the skipper, Balwani, is thinking, that yes, let's put a little bit more pressure. Let's play the mind games. Let's see if they take the bait and try to go over the top. There is long off, but there's no long on, so it's inside the circle. So looking to pick a wicket, but that's not the right length. He's got to pitch it up, flight a little bit more, and maybe toss it over to ensure that they try to go down the ground.
Not going to hit it there.
Yeah, I agree. Although now there is a fielder moving. The man from mid-wicket goes down onto the boundary. But Ireland definitely searching for a wicket here.
He's missed out on that.
Nice, Harry. That's great position.
He's playing his very first one-day international. There will be nerves, but it's important to get it right. He's been expensive, but he's been good in this over so far. Only 3 singles. Better, much better. That is a good delivery to finish the over. 196 for 4.
ওয়াও, পার্লারে গিয়েছিলি? না তো। তাহলে এত গ্লো কিভাবে? গ্লো এন্ড লাভলির মাল্টিভিটামিন ত্বকের গভীরে প্রবেশ করে ডার্ক স্পটস, ডার্ক সার্কেলস ও রোদের মলিনতা কমিয়ে দেয় এইচডি গ্লো। গ্লো এর জন্য সবকিছু এক ক্রিমে।
একজন শহীদ বুদ্ধিজীবী ডক্টর ফজলে রাব্বির বীরত্ব গাথা, এমন সব ইতিহাসের আলো অনলাইন মুক্তিযুদ্ধ জাদুঘরের মাধ্যমে পৌঁছে যাক সবার কাছে। দেশের 1 নম্বর নেটওয়ার্কে গ্রামীণ ফোন।
A little bit of a fight back from Ireland, led by Graham Hume, being the pick of the bowlers on this tour. Has all that experience, played so much professional cricket, and now taking his first steps in the international game over the course of the last 6 to 9 months, having debuted last year against New Zealand. Pulled some really good stuff down in Zimbabwe, but even better in Sylhet so far. So we see Mark Adair come in for his 6th over, and Doheny goes to ground. Dockrell helps him out as I wish a very good afternoon to Shamanoy Gosh, who joins me. Shamanoy, how are you?
Very good afternoon, Andrew. I'm good, and good afternoon to everyone. On top of it was Mushfiqur Rahim, played it on the jump. Nicely cut away, such a good cutter of the ball. Dani done well in the deep. Bangladesh now 2 runs short of 200 at the moment on 198 for 4. Bit of rehabilitation to do between the men in the middle, Mushfiqur Rahim and Tawhid Hridoy, but you must be happy with how Graham Hume has performed and taken the wickets.
Well, in a time of complicated game plans and matchups and data, Hume has done the basics, and he's shown that whatever the wicket, you bowl a length that is going to hit the top of off stump, which will be different for every bowler depending upon the trajectory and their release point. And he has utilised all that experience. He's a lovely rhythmical bowler to watch. He has been outstanding. 6 wickets in his 17 overs so far. Now, if Adair could find one, this game over the course of the last 15 overs could go one of 2 ways. Bangladesh could run away and challenge that record ODI total they posted in the first game. But if Ireland, led by Adair and Hume, just keep chipping away, keep finding wickets, maybe there's a chance. The disappointment will be, I'll be honest, no wickets for the spinners, 3 of them used.
I think it has been pretty evident in the first match as well. The seam bowlers outshining the spinners for both the teams.
Again, this is, in some ways, maybe with the exception of Adair, a second string Irish seam attack. No McCarthy, no Craig Young, and no Josh Littleloft for IPL duty. But look at those numbers. Economy rate between the 2 games under 5, and an average of just 14 for those 6 wickets. Yeah, the issue has been, as it so often is for sides not from the Asian region coming into Asia, for the spinners, it's been finding wickets. Good half stop will keep it to just a single 3-run save. I have to say Ireland's ground fielding has been outstanding, and it's just kept them alive, kept them in this game today.
Suddenly, they're all smiles. Yeah, with good spirit. It's good to see. That's good to see. A very, very good shot from Hridoy. Definitely saving a few runs, but just going back to Hume, 4 for 60 in the first match, and pulled away. Mushfiq finds the gap. Will be, should be, no, cut off by that man. Graham Hume in the deep, back for a couple. Just going back to that, took the wickets of Shakib, who scored 93, Tawhid Hridoy 92 on debut, and Mushfiqur Rahim. So all the bat was 200s up for Bangladesh, by the way, 202 for 4 after the 36th.
ম্যাম,
এত বাচ্চা স্কুল আসেনি?
রোগ জীবাণু যেভাবে ছড়িয়ে পড়ছে একজনের থেকে অন্যদের কাছে, কি করে লড়বে ওরা?
রোগ থেকে সুরক্ষিত থাকতে রোগ ছড়ানো ভাইরাসের বিরুদ্ধে লড়তে হবে। এজন্যই লাইফবয় ভাইরাস ফাইটার, যা ভাইরাসের বিরুদ্ধে লড়াই করে আপনাকে রাখবে সুরক্ষিত। আর সাথে দিবে ফ্রিতে প্রাভা হেলথের ডাক্তারের পরামর্শ। শুধু একটি মিসড কল দিন ট্যাগে দেওয়া নম্বরে।
Real acceleration after that first 10 or 12 overs where Ireland probed away. They just couldn't find the breakthroughs. The initial wicket came from a run out. Picked up to that vacant area. 6 men continuing in the circle. It's really aggressive captaincy, isn't it? Particularly with the debutant on bowling. Not a big turner of the ball. And he's hit away for 4. Nice pickup from Hridoy.
Taking the challenge, down the wicket, dancing shoes on, pitch up the ball. makes it into a half volley and plays it into the gap. Nicely done of the first delivery, 4 of the first delivery.
One thing I want to touch on here, particularly with Ridoy, he debuted in one-day international cricket a couple of days ago. Player of the match 92 he made. He was outstanding in the T20 series as well. Look at the confidence he has. This is a man playing just his second ODI, not out of the middle of the bat. But coming into these games, he'd played 52 T20s, 47 List A games, 13 first-class games. Just short. Backward point, Balbirnie. For Matthew Humphreys, okay, he's a couple of years younger. He's 20 rather than 22 that Ridoy is. Humphreys has played just 6 List A games for the Northern Knights and 7 T20s. Has that experience at an ICC global event at the under-19 level, where he was very good, Ireland's leading wicket taker at that. But that's the difference, and that's the critical difference between Ireland as a test nation. Swept for 4. Good batting, controlled stroke, Mushfiqur Rahim. Excellent in the first ODI. Looks to shine again here.
Very nicely played. This is great awareness from this experienced campaigner. Mushfiqur Rahim down on one knee, sweeping it. Knew that there was no fielder at backward square, and nicely placed exactly there. And right after that boundary, a fielder has been placed there and noted by Mushfiqur Rahim.
Yeah, just 5 in the circle now. He's getting a rude awakening here, isn't he? International cricket, the jump up from Irish domestic cricket. Ireland are a test nation now. They have been for 5 or 6 years. The challenge back in the Emerald Isle is to create a structure that matches their rivals, the likes of a Bangladesh. So he's played nearly 10 times the number of matches, young Ridoy, as opposed to Humphreys, and that's why he looks nervous on his debut. Ridoy looks confident with strokes all around the ground. It's going to be 4 more. Really good batting. Big over. 14 come from it. Bangladesh on the charge. 216 for 4.
মানবীতে 1971 সালে পাবনা টেলিফোন এক্সচেঞ্জ বুথ দখল করে। এমনই সব ইতিহাসের আলো অনলাইন মুক্তিযুদ্ধ জাদুঘরের মাধ্যমে পৌঁছে যাক সবার কাছে। দেশের 1 নম্বর নেটওয়ার্কে গ্রামীণ ফোন।
হুইল ময়লার সাথে দূর করে
দুর্গন্ধ আর
কাপড় রাখে ফ্রেশ। হুইল 2-in-1 ফাস্টেস্ট অ্যাবজর্পশন আর ওয়েট ক্লক টেকনোলজির সাথে 12 ঘন্টার নন স্টপ প্রোটেকশন নিয়ে এলো জেনারা কনফিডেন্স। 15টি প্যাড 20 টাকা ছাড়ে এখন মাত্র 130 টাকা।
I think Ireland are going to do very well to restrict Bangladesh to anything less than 300, 320. Beats him really nicely bowled. Adair just gets one to bounce a little on Rahim, who is fortunate not to edge it through to the keeper.
This is well bowled, and the bounce is noticeable. This is great bowling from Mark Adair. Lovely length, beating Mushfiqur Rahim. Just cramped up inside the crease. Just like to go back to that conversation we were having. Comparison of pulled away. Should be a single, and it is, between Tawhid Ridoy and Humphreys. I think just referring to Tawhid Ridoy, the youngster, just made his debut and scored the highest run for the men in green. He scored back-to-back 3 centuries in the under-19 level, out of 50 in the 2020 edition of the under-19, where Bangladesh were the champions. BPL, of course. Last year he played for Fortune Borishal, where he played under Shakib Al Hassan, and he's mentioned how he was not happy with his performance, and he kept on going to the skipper and asking that if he was good enough. Backed by Khalid Mahmood Shujon, ex-captain, of course, and director of BCB.
So I think even on a personal level, the ride has helped him gain this mental strength to be how he has been playing. Still a long way to go, but it's a great start and good sign for the Tigers going forward.
None of what we're discussing here is an excuse for Ireland. There's not an excuse culture around any Irish sporting team. It's not the way we're brought up. It's not the way that we like to play our sport. We're a small island nation in the North Atlantic, a sporting nation where probably something around 40 or 50% of our athletes end up playing a game that isn't played internationally, which is Gaelic sports, both Gaelic football and hurling and handball. So for the rugby team, which are maybe going into the World Cup later in the year as favourites, ranked number 1 in the world, winners of the Grand Slam of the Six Nations. For the cricket team, who punch well above our weight, for our boxers, our athletes, our hockey players, our soccer team. Nicely pulled in front to square, man out there as well. McBrien keeps it to a couple. So there is no excuse, it's just the reality of the paucity of cricket that Ireland play comparatively to the other test nations. Ireland are no longer an associate side. They play much more cricket than many of the leading associates. They've got a wealth compared to them, but compared to the other test nations, it's a real challenge for Heinrich Milan and his support staff and his men. Despite there being less than 2 years between those two men we're talking about, between Ridoy and Humphreys, it's a gulf in terms of the scale of experience they've had, a 1x to a 10x, and that's why Ridoy looks so good even though he's so early in his international career.
Yeah, absolutely spot on. And what's commendable for Tauhid Ridoy, what I personally like, is the effort to keep the ball down. Right, that stroke we see, the straight pull through cow corner, through mid wicket. He's making intent to keep the ball down. He's pricing his wicket, which is great for someone his age.
So nearly for the second time in the over, does Adair have Mushfiqur end of the 38th, 220 for 4.
Stumps or something, every one of them.
ওয়াও, পার্লারে গিয়েছিলি? নাক তাহলে এত গ্লো কিভাবে? গ্লো এন্ড লাভলির মাল্টিভিটামিনস ত্বকের গভীরে প্রবেশ করে ডার্ক স্পটস, ডার্ক সার্কেলস ও রোদের মলিনতা কমিয়ে দেয় এইচডি গ্লো। গ্লো এর জন্য সবকিছু এক ক্রিমে।
এগিয়ে যাওয়ার এই জার্নিতে আমরা আছি আপনার সাথে। ধন্যবাদ আপনাদের। বাংলা লিংক এখন 4 কোটির পরিবার।
Big last 12 overs coming up. Can Ireland fight and scrap and find a way to stay in this contest and stay in this series? Hume, the pick of the bowlers, look at the economy rate under 4. The difference between the seamers and the spinners has been very noticeable. Humphreys, Tector and even McBrien going at 7 and over or close to it or more, whereas Adair, Hume and Camphor, yes, they have helpful conditions today, all in and around an economy rate of 4 per over. And that graph again shows you why it's such a surprise for me, why it wasn't a one-day international debut today for Fionn Hand, and it was to Matthew Humphreys. They picked a seamer, too little for me. They've misread the conditions a touch. Where Doheny will keep it to a single. With Humphreys into the team, it means that in essence they have 5 spinning options. Still no George Dockrell or Paul Sterling with the ball. They definitely only have 3 seam options though, and that's the issue.
Again, I have to say, I must say, you're spot on this, especially when the seamers have been successful in this field. We've seen it in the first ODI as well.
Big hit. And now a seamer goes the distance. That clears the rope by many a metre. Mushfiqur Rahim has got them dancing on their feet here in Sylhet. I love to see that. A free flow, a beautiful flow of the bat. 6 from the moment that it left it.
Mid-off and cover inside the circle. The dancing shoes are on, going to the pitch of the ball and through wide-ish long off for a maximum launched off the runway from Mushfiqur Rahim.
single this time. I think one other thing worth pointing out as well, and again, this isn't an excuse, it's not a complaint by any stretch, but the funding levels that the two newer test nations have received from the ICC in the previous right cycle, they were elevated halfway through a right cycle between 2015 and 2023. There's the 6. Oh, that's right out of the screws. Ireland and Afghanistan receive nothing like the scale of funding that the other test nations receive. Now that's up for discussion in the most recent board meetings. 2 was the call immediately. Good running from Mushfiq will get them in and out. And moving into the next right cycle, the last event of this one, the 2023 World Cup coming up in India. After that, the great news is all the events are expanding. The ODI World Cup moves back to 14 teams. The T20 World Cup, most excitingly, for anyone who loves the associate or the developing game, moves to 20 teams in the USA and the West Indies. They'll be the first hosts of that in 2024. But also, because of the big money coming in with the new rights deals, pulled away. Good work again from this time. Dockrell in the deep keeps it to a couple. There'll be a bit more money to go around, so maybe that gap will be bridged and it will assist Irish cricket and Afghan cricket and the other leading associates as well.
Change of pace from Curtis Camphor, but again, Tauhid Hridoy keeping things simple, sticking to the basics, timing, placement, and keeping the ball on the ground. Back for a couple, a 6 of this over, but compiled for 12 already of the 5 deliveries. So Bangladesh cruising along, partnership now 42 of 33. Just wonder if Graham Hume should have been given another over. 2 wickets for him in 2 overs. 1 in the 32nd, 1 in the 34th. Just checking the boundary. Does it touch his... Ooh. Well, when the foot touches the boundary wedges, does the ball come in contact with his hand or the wrist?
Clean as a whistle, Chamonix. Not sure what you're looking at. Look at this. Out of his hands. Clean as a whistle. Go on, roll on. No, well away. Just a foreshortening effect, that, my friend. Don't worry. They will have a check, though. We'll leave it up to the umpires, joking aside. I think everything we're talking about, particularly with Irish cricket, is there isn't a deep pool of players. So this tour, without Cricket World Cup Super League points being on the line, it is a good chance to have a look at Humphreys, to maybe give an ODI debut to Fionn Hand. Take a look at another angle here. Yeah, I think that clearly shows he's okay. 2 runs to the total, not 4. Ireland will always try to compete. It might not be easy. Right now, Bangladesh are taking the ascendancy in a big way after that double strike from Graham Hume. End of the 39th, 233 for 4.
গোলাপি নির্যাস আর ভিটামিন ই সহ নতুন লাক্স দেয় চাঁদের মতো উজ্জ্বল চেহারা। লাক্স
মিস্টার নুডলসের কোরিয়ান সুপার স্পাইসি নুডলসে আছে দারুণ স্বাদ আর চরম ঝাল। মিস্টার নুডলস সুপার স্পাইসি, সুপার টেস্টি।
Change in bowling as we see Andy McBride return to the attack. Initially it was Harry Tector. Harry Tector was throwing the ball. He'd even taken the cap off and given it to the umpire. But it will instead be Andrew McBride. Not his best day. He's been a little bit unlucky though, hasn't he? Particularly challenged Shanto, and 2 or 3 times it looked as though he might have the back of the left-hander, but he's been expensive by his standards, nearly 7 and over. And he's got 3 left. The challenge for Balbirnie here is he's got 9 overs of seam left, but 11 overs to bowl. And that means that there's 3 overs apiece left for Adair, Hume and Camphor. Who's going to bowl the other 2? Maybe Balbirnie is thinking, I'll get 2 in from McBride here. I know I'm a little bit like a broken record. I still can't understand the lack of use of George Dockrell. He bowled in both of the ODIs in Zimbabwe. Picked picked up wickets in that series win over the West Indies in the Caribbean. Yes, I understand he's in the team primarily as a batter, but analyse the conditions, use his experience, get him into the game.
Just don't understand why Sterling or Dockrell are not being used with the ball. They still feel Graham Hume perhaps should have been given one or more over, because as I mentioned earlier, wicket in the 32nd, wicket in the 34th. In the process, what they've done is allowed this partnership to grow. 44 of 35 now.
Yeah, having picked up those consecutive wickets in back-to-back overs from Hume, he didn't bowl again. He was taken off. They went to Adair. And this is why captaincy is such a difficult thing. You can look like a genius or a fool very quickly. Adair beat the outside edge of Raheem a couple of times. If one of those two has got a feather and it goes through to the keeper, he's hailed as a genius. It's a genius bowling change. How did he think of that? Instead, these two are building a very healthy partnership. And now Balberni's just wondering, like you said, Chamonix, could he have gone one more of Graham Hume? Could he have found 3 and 3 overs Hume? Out to Way. Sterling points over his head. All he's going to do is point it to the rope. 4 more and a 50 partnership in very good time.
Outsmarting the bowler is Mushfiqur Rahim. Just moving across, knew that the fine leg fielder was inside the circle. Playing along with the turn. Yes, just guided it away. This is nicely played. Smart batting. 7 of the over.
The irony is, we've talked so much about Ireland favouring the matchups. This isn't a matchup necessarily. It should work for them, the two right-handers against the off-spinner. I know it would be bringing a 7th bowler in, but Dockrell could have bowled 40 and 42 even this late, taking the ball away. Maybe that would have been the better matchup. This partnership very much threatening to propel Bangladesh, maybe not just to 320. Maybe the home fans are thinking of cheering on record ODI totals twice in a matter of 3 days. About 100, a little bit less than that off the last 10 to do it. 40 bowled, end of the second power play, 2-4-1 for 4.
নাজিয়ানা আনিকা
ম্যাডাম সিনেমা হিরোর নামই চলে আপনি চুলে নজর দেন গরম আর ঘাম চুলে শাইন না নষ্ট করে ফেলে
শাইন তো মন খুলেই করব আমিও আর আমার চুলও নতুন সানসিল্ক ব্ল্যাক শাইন এতে আছে আমলা পার্ল প্রোটিন আর ভিটামিন ই অ্যাক্টিভ মিক্স যা চুলকে দেয় 24 ঘন্টা পর্যন্ত শাইন শাইন করব মন খুলে
একজন শহীদ বুদ্ধিজীবী ডক্টর ফজলে রাব্বির বীরত্ব গাথা এমন সব ইতিহাসের আলো অনলাইন মুক্তিযুদ্ধ জাদুঘরের মাধ্যমে পৌঁছে যাক সবার কাছে দেশের 1 নম্বর নেটওয়ার্কে গ্রামীণ ফোন
Really good 5th wicket partnership this, particularly the speed at which it's come after the 2 quick wickets after the loss. Shakib and Shanto, the 2 right-handers, have come together and building up Bangladesh towards what looks like a mammoth total again. 300 is almost a certainty, 350 a possibility. 96 off the last 10, you were just saying, Chamonix, in the previous ODI. What will they make from the last 10 today?
And they were exactly at 242 for 4 after 40 in the first ODI. 241 for 4 now. 10 overs remaining. Camphor to Mushfiq.
Change of pace, so a bowl, dot ball to start the final power play. The 3rd and final power play allows the captain to utilise 5 fielders. Outside the circle, here's the cutter. Tends from Camphor to be off cutters. Just a little bit of a wobble of a seam. Actually, he's kept a bit low as well. Tucker as well to collect. It's given as a wide. Camphor not overly happy with that. Mushfiqur short in stature. The 5 fielders outside, 2 in the deep and the offside. Deep cover and deep 3rd, and then it's a deep backward square leg, deep fine, and a deep mid wicket in place. So very defensive field. He's not going to be bowling full. 4. From the moment it left the bat, always been a good cutter and puller of the ball, Mushfiqur. It's 4 more to his name. This could be an action-packed final 10.
Spot on yet again. Just made sure that he connected the ball from the meaty part of the bat, from the sweet part of the bat. It was close to him, but it's all about the timing and placement.
This time off the toe end of the bat, not like the previous delivery out of the middle. Such a challenge for Ireland. The assault of the batters here is coming about because of the lack of wickets in that first 10 overs. The only one they got was the run out. When the conditions were helpful, and they really were helpful, Ireland did not capitalise.
Going at 6 and over, with 6 wickets in hand, I think they will be looking to accelerate at a high pace.
I think that's the tactic, isn't it? Go to off-cutters and off-pace deliveries. Force them to try and hit it over the long on, the deep mid-wicket, the deep backward square. As soon as the one for the over was signalled, fine leg came up into the circle and long on went back.
There was a long on for Tawhid Hridoy, which comes in inside the circle, becomes a mid on for Mushfiqur Rahim. Switching back to the old field. Deep fine leg, deep square leg, and deep mid wicket for him. Oh, this is well bowled. This is well bowled. Just back of a length and tempting him to play pull, but he's not going to fall into that. He knows where the fielders are.
You'd love to see the numbers at that length, wouldn't you? Because anything of a good cricketing length, in and around that sort of top of off, maybe a little bit shorter than that, has tended to be pretty good. Seamers, all 3 of them, have been on the whole impressive. That'll be given as a wide to be re-bowled. Problem has been the spinners. They're not the first team to come to this part of the world and have their spinners a little bit found out by excellent batting. And when you've got the quality of Shakib Al Hassan, Mehdi Hassan, Miraz et al. In your team, and you're facing them every day in the nets, and then you come out and face opposition spinners, it can feel a little bit easier. Great batting from Bangladesh. The dot ball will close out 41st, 249 for 4.
ধুতে থাকো জীবাণু ধুতে থাকো। এই বান্টি তোর সাবান স্লো নাকি রে? সাবান 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 তোর এখনো সাবান দিয়ে হাত ধুচ্ছিস? ভিটামিন যুক্ত নতুন লাইফ বয় হ্যান্ড ওয়াশ। ভিটামিন যুক্ত হ্যান্ড ওয়াশ।
হ্যাঁ, ভিটামিন যুক্ত নতুন লাইফ বয় হ্যান্ড ওয়াশ, তাই জীবাণু প্রতিরোধে সাধারণ সাবানের চেয়ে 100% শক্তিশালী সুরক্ষা।
ভিটামিন যুক্ত নতুন লাইফ বয় হ্যান্ড ওয়াশ।
5 স্টারের ইফতার রেখে বাসায়?
তোমাকে ছাড়া ইফতার করব?
আমাকে ছাড়া নাকি এই হালিম ছাড়া?
সবচেয়ে সুস্বাদু হালিম রাঁধুনি হালিম। হালিম হোক রাঁধুনি হালিম।
Might appear on the screen as 42 for 1 was a good start for Ireland, but the conditions were so helpful. The only wicket that they picked up was that run out from the very final delivery of the power play. It easily could have been 42 for none from that power play. That actually set the platform really nicely for Bangladesh. They capitalised in the second power play, and now they're really looking to cash in. This may be the final over of spin we see, because after this one, Balbirnie will have enough between the 9 from McBride, 7 from Humphreys and 4 from Tector to close out with his seamers. No joy at all for the Irish spinners, really nothing that's challenged the Bangladeshi batters at all.
Yeah, worried man is Andy Balbirnie, the Ireland captain, cruising along. Partnership now 61 of 50. Nicely cut away. Only get a single. Tawhid Hridoy and Mushfiqur Rahim are so good against spin. Yasir Ali Rabbi still in the dugout. Taskin can pack a punch. Nasr scored a quick 11 of 7 in the first ODI.
But yes, it's this pair. They would want to spend most of the time in the middle and maybe take it as far as possible.
That graphic there is probably the most concerning one of all of the ones we've seen for Ireland. The runs are flowing quickly in this partnership, and the last 50 came off just 32 deliveries. If they repeat that over the course of the remaining 9 overs or so, 330 is probably on. I think they'd be disappointed with anything less than 320 with 6 wickets in hand. And it's going to be another huge mammoth chase for Ireland. Big stroke down the ground, all the way. 6. Ridoy comes from a very short backlift. Doesn't even look like he hits it, and it soars into the sillet sky for 6.
Well, you know it when you hit it. Wings deployed by Tauhid Ridoy. Yeah, from the sweet part of the bat, launched up the runway and goes for a maximum. And what's noticeable is Mushfiqur Rahim straight away from the other end. He knew straight away. He was applauding.
Well, he wasn't running, was he? The final over of spin I think we'll see today. He's going to go for 12 runs to get back for a quick couple. Into the 42nd, 261 for 4.
দুইটি শিশুর মাঝে একটি শিশু ক্যাভিটির সমস্যায় ভোগে। ওকে দিন পেপসোডেন, যা অদৃশ্য ছোট ছোট গর্তগুলো সারিয়ে তোলে, ক্যাভিটি থেকে দেয় সর্বাধিক সুরক্ষা। আত্মবিশ্বাসী এই হাসিগুলো ধরে রাখতে নিন পেপসোডেন্টের ফ্রি ডেন্টাল চেকআপ। কল করুন এখনই। শিরিন বানু মিতিল 1971 সালে পাবনা টেলিফোন এক্সচেঞ্জ বুথ দখল করে। এমন সব ইতিহাসের আলো অনলাইন মুক্তিযুদ্ধ জাদুঘরের মাধ্যমে পৌঁছে যাক সবার কাছে। দেশের 1 নম্বর নেটওয়ার্কে গ্রামীণ ফোন।
Very, very impressive from the Bangladeshi batters. 74, Liton Kumar Das, Shanta making 73. Could have gone on for more. It's just the manner in which they got out. Maybe something that they'll ponder about, something to ponder about for the skipper of Ireland. With 8 to go. Projected scores is now 311 at this rate. More likely 325 at an end. 8 and over. Maybe even more. Civil round. But he's found the fielder in the deep. Just going to get this single. Well, it's difficult now for the Irish bowlers, HG, to keep a lid on the run scoring here.
You know, they could chase something scary here if they don't knock over one of these two. What a lovely partnership this has been. Lovely is probably not the appropriate word because it's been dynamic. 72 from just 55 deliveries, and that was after the loss of 2 very quick wickets, back-to-back wickets.
Irish bowlers forced into bowling a little untidily. Every batter now, both the batters now, really going after the bowling, as you mentioned. They stepped on the gas, 73 of 56. Mushfiqur Rahim, after that cameo in the previous game, you'd expect him to be going back to his more natural way of batting, which would be a little more sedate and selective. Not so. It's carried on from where he left off. There's evidence of that. Backing away, cracking at spur of the wicket. 4 delectable looking runs, and he enjoyed it.
The very best adapt their games to situations. When Mushfiqur finds himself batting now, you need to be adaptable. This occasion he just gives himself a little bit of room outside leg stump so that a ball that appears to have no width on it actually has a great deal of it.
Forcing the bowlers into errors. That short pitch delivery, then he tries to pitch it further up, gets into a full toss and really hammers it down the ground for another boundary.
Well, we'll continue to wax lyrical about the 2 men at the crease, but this is poor bowling. This is poor bowling. mid-off up, extra cover up inside the 30-yard circle, and you bowl a full toss outside off stump.
Get that high back lift. Oh, this is extraordinary. This is absolutely marvelous batting prowess by Mushfiqur Rahim.
He's trying to bowl a cutter into the surface here. They'll just check to see this has gone all the way, and I think it has. He bowls a cutter into the surface, but the problem is there's width again. There's width again, and he goes up and over. We saw a similar stroke earlier on in the over where he went over backward point but only got 4. This time he gets 6 and brings up a magnificent half century of just 33 deliveries.
This has been belligerent. This has been absolutely delightful to watch, and look at the way he controlled that. Good comeback delivery after a while. And a little bit of an anticlimax with that single, but it's not just the way he played that good delivery. Big over, 17 from it, 278 for 4.
মাটির 1250 ফিট পর্যন্ত গিয়েও হাসি মুখে চাপ মেনে নেয় আরএফএল ইউপিভিসি ক্লাস পায়। পাইপের বস, না কিনলে লস।
ওয়াও, পার্লারে গিয়েছিলি? না তো, তাহলে এত গ্লো কিভাবে? গ্লো এন্ড লাভলির মাল্টিভিটামিন ত্বকের গভীরে প্রবেশ করে ডার্ক স্পটস, ডার্ক সার্কেলস ও রোদের মলিনতা কমিয়ে দেয় এইচডি গ্লো। গ্লো এর জন্য সবকিছু এক ক্রিমে।
Things getting more and more difficult for the Irish bowlers. Bangladeshi batters taking a fancy to them, really stepping on the gas, turning the screw on, and this is going to be very, very quick scoring last 7 overs, I suspect. Particularly this man has been in a belligerent mood. Just the 10 dots, 34 balls, quick fire 52, couple of 6s and 5 boundaries. Pulls it wide, despite that he latches onto that. This possibly, I'm not quite sure if it's gone for 4 runs. Hey, watch out for more. This is terrific.
Full and wide. If a batter wanted to hit that over extra cover, that's exactly where he had placed the ball.
Mushfiqur Rahim with that boundary reaches 7,000 runs in one-day internationals. Appreciated by his teammates, appreciated by the crowd here. What an achievement, what a milestone for this stalwart, Mr. Dependable from Bangladesh. Swivels round, gets it behind square. This is good fielding. He had to cover a bit of ground, went very quickly. Just a single, nevertheless. The crowd here are being royally entertained by Mushfiqur Rahim. Good support from Tawhid Ridoy, 35 of 26. There you go, 7,003 runs, an average of 36.66, 800s, 44 50s in this illustrious career of his. Looks so fresh after 17 years at the top. Oh, it's like a volley oh, that's desperate effort. Not quite getting there. 4 more runs. Like a tennis shot that took it to the boundary.
Just a slap.
To come. It's carnage here, HD.
Yeah, that's the word to describe it at the moment. And I thought if Ireland could bowl a good last 10 overs here, that maybe they would chase 330. But this is now looking very ominous. Yasser Ali will be thinking, let me in, let me loose. He'll be desperate to walk to the wicket. Yeah, look at him. Oh, he's just leaning forward. Run him out.
And on a track which, when they started the game, looked to be pretty bowler friendly. Because that's the cheekiness of Mushfiqur Rahim. He does play those scoop shots wonderfully well.
Yeah, this is just exceptional. There's nothing that Curtis Comfort can do here because he does take pace off the ball. He recognises that third is inside the circle, but very seldom, in fact, never does a captain put a fielder behind a wicketkeeper. That is brilliant.
Douglas Murilla of Zimbabwe, I think, is the first one to play the scoop on a regular basis. Oops, aborted at the last moment.
Yeah, there's a lot of modern day cricketers who like to claim these shots. It's like the reverse sweep, which was John T. Rhodes played it in the 90s, but Mushtaq Mohammed played it in the 70s. These shots have been played for hundreds of years. It's just now they just get played in every game. What a partnership this has been. Brilliant.
Hello, ramps it over. And one more to the boundary. Ah, he is delighted with those shots. Brilliant by Mushfiq. 296 for 4.
নাটা জেলি আর পানীয় এক অসম কম্বিনেশন ড্রিঙ্কো চাবান পানীয়।
আজকাল খুব হাত খুলে খরচ হচ্ছে মনে হয়। হাত না, আমার চোখ খুলে গেছে। অ্যালোভেরা যুক্ত সার্ফ এক্সেল সাধারণ পাউডারের তুলনায় প্রতি ধোয়ায় লাগে মাত্র অর্ধেক, তাই এর 500 গ্রাম চলবে 1 মাসেরও বেশি।
The buildings get taller and taller for Bangladesh. Real Manhattan now showing. With Empire State and the Chrysler building next to each other there. This has been a feast of runs by the Bangladeshi batters. Liked for the Bangladeshi fans, but worries for Balbirnie. How does he stem the flow of runs? Oh, lucky there, just an inside edge.
Well, there's a trademark stroke. You've been talking about trademark strokes. This is one for Mushfiqur Rahim. I thought it was wide of off stump, but it is over off stump. Just up and over she goes. He's a smart cricketer, this man.
At the same time, just off air, you're pondering with the third man in why a bowler would bowl something like that and then allow the batter to play shots like that. I think it's just playing on their minds, trying something completely different. Bowlers not in their comfort zone, trying to bowl the balls wide. The batsman throws the bat at it, makes beautiful contact, and it races away once more to the boundary. He's rollicking away here.
It's very difficult to get the field right at the back end here. I mean, you want to try and at least protect one side of the ground. It's extremely difficult to protect both sides of the ground. Here there's width. So he knows that if he gets the ball over cover, he's got a boundary because they've got an extra cover on the boundary fence and they've got a backward point, very fine backward point.
Well, he goes again and this time it falls a little short. Mushfiqur Rahim has been belligerent in this innings, 70 so far. He's had a wonderful array of shots.
Yeah, all around the ground. Just like in the first one-day international, walk to the wicket, there was energy, there was intent, and then the skill levels just went to another level. There's been some wonderful shots played by this man.
Been a blitzkrieg, shots all around the ground. Surprisingly not too many down the leg side. As we speak, it is played into that mid-wicket area. No single day. In the meantime, amongst all the flurry of the boundaries, with Bangladesh have gone on to 303 now, crossed the 300 mark.
So if Hume decides to bowl the ball wide of off stump, then he doesn't need the man at deep square leg. Then he can afford to put another fielder on the offside, on the boundary, and bring that square leg up. If he decides to bowl straight at the stumps, then he can have this field. The danger is that the ball squeezes past short, fine leg. But he can't bowl wide of off stump and have that many fielders on the leg side.
Hello. That is so easily played. He's brimming with confidence, his ample time, and another scoop to delight the crowd.
And we said how difficult it is to place fields to this type of stroke. The courage to get right behind that, put your head in the line of the ball, and then to scoop it not only over your head but the keeper's head.
He's disappointed, but he's really been forced into bowling all kinds of lengths by Mushfiqur Rahim. He is in a marauding mood, and even when he gets the toe end of the bat, it seems to get him some runs. Not on that occasion. 11 from the 45th over, 307 for 4.
এগিয়ে যাবার এই জার্নিতে আপনাদের জন্যই আমাদের সব চেষ্টা। আপনাদের সাথে নিয়ে বাংলা লিগ এখন 4 কোটির পরিবার।
ফারিয়া অ্যাকশন ম্যাম।
এত বাচ্চা স্কুল আসেনি।
রোগ জীবাণু যেভাবে ছড়িয়ে পড়ছে একজনের থেকে অন্যদের কাছে, কি করে লড়বে ওরা?
রোগ থেকে সুরক্ষিত থাকতে রোগ ছড়ানো ভাইরাসের বিরুদ্ধে লড়তে হবে। এজন্যই লাইফ বয় ভাইরাস ফাইটার, যা ভাইরাসের বিরুদ্ধে লড়াই করে আপনাকে রাখবে সুরক্ষিত। আর সাথে দিবে ফ্রিতে প্রাভা হেলথের ডাক্তারের পরামর্শ। শুধু একটি মিসড কল দিন ট্যাগে দেওয়া নম্বরে।
Started off sedately, 71 for the first 50, but look at the 6th one. 19 deliveries for the last 50 runs. They've gone really wild here. They're in a marauding mood. Mushfiqur Rahim and Tawhid Ridoy. Lots of concerns for Ireland.
And soul destroying as well for Ireland. Winning the toss and decide to bowl first. The conditions were friendly and they bowled nicely. We can't take it away from them. They bowled nicely. But the two Bangladesh openers, they realised the situation that was in front of them. They were tighter in defence than what we would normally see in a 50-over international. And they gave their side the platform to play like this.
Tawhid Ridoy says, I'm going to join the fun. I'm going to help myself to another boundary. Just that way, hit it pretty sharply, went over, no chance for anyone to stop that.
There's 3 men on the leg side boundary, just 2 men on the offside boundary, and the decision is to bowl wide of off stump. That is the part I can't fathom. If you've got 3 men away on the leg side, you can't leave the stumps. The ball has to go at the stumps.
Just straight enough for the batter to angle open, close the face rather of the bat. That is how, if my memory serves me right, Tawhid Ridoy got out in the previous game, just closing the face, allowing the ball to creep in. Sure, he's alert to that, or in control with that shot. Mushfiqur Rahim now has protection at deep third.
Right, change the field. Deep third goes back, fine leg goes back, mid on and mid off up. So very difficult now for Camphor to go full. Now you probably bowl a slower ball into the wicket and hope that Mushfiqur hits it away to the leg side.
He does go full this time, but that's resulted well for him.
Risky. He gets that wrong, he goes back over his head. But he didn't get it wrong.
Look at the pitch map from Mushfiqur Rahim versus seem to be too many short of a length. See the boundaries coming. The boundaries have come from short of a length, from length balls, from full tosses, and short ones like that. Thank you very much. It just makes it look so very simple. Another boundary.
Again, it's short, but this time it's wide of off stump. We've seen him play this stroke so many times. Just the traditional square cut. You can wear white clothing and play this shot. Doesn't have to be in coloured clothing against the white ball.
Look at the reaction. Can I do? Little surprised that I haven't seen the slog sweep employed by Mushfiqur Rahim today. Well, too many short pitch deliveries are being offered, so he doesn't get an opportunity for that. And even so disappointed in not getting bat-to-bat ball on that delivery, the last one. Can afford to laugh, they're all smiling, all very relaxed in the dugout, in the dressing rooms. Deep third comes in within the 30 circle, and mid-on goes on to long on. Got to be tight in his line. Does good delivery to finish that over. 316 for 4.
শহীদ বুদ্ধিজীবী ডক্টর ফজলে রাব্বির বীরত্ব গাথা এমন সব ইতিহাসের আলো অনলাইন মুক্তিযুদ্ধ জাদুঘরের মাধ্যমে পৌঁছে যাক সবার কাছে দেশের 1 নম্বর নেটওয়ার্কে গ্রামীণ ফোন।
নেক্সট এডিশন
নাজিয়ানা, আনিকা।
ম্যাডাম, সিনেমা হিরোর নামেই চলে। আপনি চুলে নজর দেন। গরম আর ঘাম চুলের শাইন নষ্ট করে ফেলে।
শাইন তো মন খুলেই করব, আমিও আর আমার চুলও। নতুন সানসিল্ক ব্ল্যাক শাইন, এতে আছে আমলা, পার্ল প্রোটিন আর ভিটামিন ই অ্যাক্টিভ মিক্স, যা চুলকে দেয় 24 ঘন্টা পর্যন্ত শাইন। শাইন করব মন খুলে।
Well, Adair bowled well for 6 per over, 2 for 38. Continuing the good work with the ball by Graham Hume. Took 4 wickets the other day and an economy rate you can be proud of. Expensive from Humphreys. runs, this partnership of just 78 balls. Ball toss, whipped away. Might get 4, but once again, good work. Maybe the umpires might go upstairs for a look once he fielded. The only saving grace, I think, HT, has been some good feeling around the ground by the RA.
Yeah, I think he does well here in the deep as well. I think when he slides, he lifts his legs up. Just here, he lifts his legs up to ensure that he doesn't touch the boundary rope. I think he's fine.
It seems all right. Both his feet seem to be away from those advertising wedges. When he flicked the ball, is the one that will confirm. Now, the toe of his right foot as he flicks the ball back. It's touch and go. I thought it was a sort of clean sort of effort. I might even consider right there.
Benefit of the doubt should go to the athleticism.
Absolutely agree with you. That effort needs to be rewarded. To ensure, but you know what this does to the batters? This weight, the momentum that's been gathered, there is a little bit of a pause. Always hampers that, but you've got to have the correct decision. I can understand. There you are, not 4, confirmed after quite a few looks. Good work, 2 runs saved for a good fielding effort. Oh, inside edge, and it's gone straight through, and he's been given. It's Not quite sure with that shot. Shoykot says you're out. He's thinking about going for a review. Seemed to have been a sound there, HD.
Yeah, no, I had to definitely not. Maybe inside it or maybe best.
TPM Petrol Director, Sarbar, we have a review for got behind. Given out. Check front foot is a fair delivery. Show me the front on please.
Thanks.
Rolling. Ball appears to passing close to the bench. Can I have Altai? Yes.
Make sure you ultra.
For confirmation, please. Keep rolling, keep rolling. Go back, go back. Go forward. Just face it, hold ball next to the bat.